chess moves, you're caught up in their game. If you're collateral damage, you don't know who to blame. You feel lost and bewildered, don't know which way to go, but there's something awakening that showers sparks of hope. These are crazy days where nothing makes sense. These are crazy days. Come down from your fence, show your colors, and leave the crowd. These are crazy days. You're turned upside down. Through the smoke and the mirrors, you'll stumble on the truth. An oasis of wisdom, the fountain of all youth. Then you'll break from your demons that held you in their spell, and you'll be like a giant, start raising fucking hell. These are crazy days where nothing makes sense. These are crazy days. Come down from your fence, show your colors, and leave the crowd. These are crazy days. You're turned upside down. Crazy days.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night speedrunning here on the Nick RP stream. It was my birthday on Sunday. Want to know what I got? Of course I did. Of course I did. That's, I'm just gonna sit here and show this off for 10 minutes. That's it. This is all we're doing.
New follower.
Oh damn, new follower. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. I'm looking at the wrong. No, I'm not looking at the wrong camera. Look at the right camera. Oh. Hi everybody. Welcome. Let's get that chat up so I can see. Remy Demon, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Nick RP stream. It's always good to have more people here. Too many cameras. I have I've been cooking I've been cooking over the last couple of days because on let's have some game audio as well. That could probably be quite nice. On the stream on Thursday, I talked about the charity and said type parrot in the chat, and nothing happened. And then 5 seconds for a new follower is pretty good. But apparently that's all it takes. Just if new follower, show an auto conduct. I haven't opened it yet. I might open it. It'll add to my collection of other Metal Gear ducks. This was from my brother. My brother contacted Heidi because I think he was going to get me Snake, and she was like, "Don't get him Snake. He's already got Snake. I already have Snake, G-Name Soldier, Ocelot, and the Cyborg Ninja." So he got me Otacon because Otacon was from the next phase. And on the back, it shows all the ones that are available. I now need to get Psycho Mantis. I love these ducks. I've got loads of these ducks. League of Legends. That was what was on my bottom shelf. I couldn't remember what was on the bottom shelf of my cabinet. Just turn the cabinet. There we go. Turn the cabinet light. I've got more. I think I've got to redo my cabinet because I've been buying more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and I'm pretty sure I need Yu-Gi-Oh to go across two shelves now. Yes. I've got those. I have got. I think all of my other ducks are down in my downstairs cabinet because they're all just other random. I've got some Crash Bandicoot ones. I've got Sonic ones. I think that's it. I think I've just got Sonic ones and Sonic ones and other stuff. You get in the UK game, which game has kind of been slowly dying, I would think, over the past few years. Like most standalone game, my ducks are all in a row. They're in a very nice. Where I'm going to put this one, I don't know. Those four ducks take up the whole of that space. In the UK game, like there are very few standalone game stores anymore. Pretty much the only standalone game stores that exist now are the really big ones that have like the play area where you can go and like rent a computer and you can have parties there and stuff like that. Like my nearest one is Milton Keynes, and it's got a big game zone or play zone or whatever they call it. Game have had a load of Yu-Gi-Oh figures on sale recently, so I've got a few in there. It's all fallen over in there. I need to fix it. But I've got some that I haven't opened up out of the box. I've got a couple more downstairs. Like I got Relinquished. There's single packs and there's double packs. The single packs are a £5 because the figures I think are slightly bigger. You get like a little card with it, and then there's the figure. That's Relinquished. The double packs. No, actually, the figures aren't. In fact, I'd say the double pack figures are bigger. The double packs are only £2. You can't see it. The light reflects too much. Shut up in there, will you? Maybe. Yeah, £2. You say that's it's not that. There you go. For size comparison to my face. There we go. But yeah, £2. £2 for these two figures. And there's of the packs, there's a Red Eyes Black Dragon and Harpy Lady pack, which are already in there. There's the Blue White Wise Dragon and the Gate Guardian pack, which obviously I have here. I already have a different Blue Eyes White Dragon in my case. I'm probably going to take that Blue Eyes out and put it somewhere else, and then swap it out with this one. The one that I haven't got, there's a Castle of Dark Illusion and Exodia double pack, which I'm keeping an eye out for, but I haven't found. And then of the single packs, there's Karibo, which I've got. Yes, my Karibo's already in there. Dark Magician, which is downstairs and opened. Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, I don't need because they were in the double packs. Relinquished is obviously here. And Time Wizard, I don't have. So I'll be looking out for Time Wizard. Yeah, £2. £2 for a Blue Eyes White Dragon and a Gate Guardian. Amazing. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't play the card game much anymore because the card game just got way out of hand. Like back when I was in college and early on when I was at uni, like I was huge into Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a certified judge for Yu-Gi-Oh! At one point. I actually started the Lancaster Hobby League. I worked with a local cafe to start a hobby league. It didn't last very long. After I left, it didn't really last very long, but it did. I saw the last ban list. There was some cool stuff. It's always funny when the ban list comes out. I look at the no longer limited list or no longer banned, and it's like these were cards that like I never like. Time Seal, the trap card Time Seal, which is your opponent skips their next draw phase. That is now unlimited. The entire duration of me playing. And I didn't play from the very start of Yu-Gi-Oh! I started when Synchro Summoning came in at the start of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. That's when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! The entirety of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Career, Time Seal was forbidden. And now it's unlimited. You can have 3 of them in your deck. They've gone from 0 to 3. It's crazy. But yeah, I really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! Before the Hobby League, I did run some events at uni, and it wasn't just for uni people. We invited people in the invited people from outside in as well. There were some really good events. We had like a tournament. We did a sealed pack tournament. There's a sealed pack. I think it's called the Battle Pack. I don't know if they still do it, but they introduced a new sealed pack called, like, I think it was something like the Battle Pack, and we did it with the very first one. And there's always been sealed tournaments in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I won one once. I went to one of my only ever appearances at Blackpool's Yu-Gi-Oh! Hobby League. They did a sealed tournament for the release of Starlight Express. No, not Starlight Express. That's a musical. Stardust Overdrive. I think I can't remember exactly which one it was. It was it was Stardust, Starlight, something about that. But I won that tournament. But that was, you just got that pack. You got several of that pack, and you made a deck out of whatever was in it. Konami realized this was a popular format, so they made a new battle pack specifically for sealed tournaments. So it had, rather than just using random cards from the set, it actually had cards that were specifically designed for it. I ran my own tournament for it. I actually went to a big regional tournament in Sheffield one year. Like, this wasn't just a hobby league doing it. This was a big, like, national thing. They were doing lots of tournaments, and yeah, I did that one. I've got mats for these somewhere. That was a really cool tournament. Yeah, the one that I ran myself offered a prize of it was whatever the latest special edition booster pack. They used to do a special edition booster pack where you got 3 copies of the same booster pack and then 1 of 2 variant cards in it, and that was the prize. And yeah, it was a pretty good prize because I then won my own tournament, opened that pack, and got a Ghost Rare Leviathan Dragon from it. I was pretty pleased with that. That was cool. Yeah. But I mean, you've only got to look at like how involved I try and get in the speedrunning community. I was very involved with MGS3 a couple of years ago. I've done a lot of hosting and stuff for different events. I obviously started Pixel Perfect. I then left Pixel Perfect, and now I'm the tech for Fast for the Kids. So it's probably no great surprise that back when I was at college and uni, I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! I was running Yu-Gi-Oh! Events because I love doing it. I've always loved running events and being part of stuff like that. It's really cool. It's what I like to do. When I got into League of Legends, I started trying to run some I did a couple of League of Legends tournaments. And whilst I was at university, I was the social secretary. In my 3rd year, I was the social secretary, and then in my 4th year, end of 3rd year into 4th year, I was the president of the university's gaming society. Because yeah, I like getting involved with stuff. It's what I do. Guess what deck you're running? Of all the decks that are out, I mean, there are so many decks out there. Like, how can I possibly know? dab it. I mean, if you're saying presumably it's something more recent, some sort of dragon deck. I believe dragons. DM, Dragon Master? I don't know what DM means. Or you've DM'd me? I don't know. I know there's some dragon decks. I think if I was to get back into it, I would either be looking at Dark World or Insectors. Like, Insectors was my last sort of big deck before I left. But I do have a really good Dark World deck as well. Oh, Dark Magician. Oh, yeah, because Dark Magician got more support not too long ago as well, I think. Again, I think. I'm not huge into it. The main thing for me with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is every time I think, oh, you know what, maybe I'll have a look at going back into it. And where I live now in Aylesbury, there is a hobby league every Wednesday, so I could get back into it. The problem is Wednesday night is when Heidi has band. So someone's got to look after the baby. Every time I think maybe I could get back into it, I go and have a look at like the last European tournament or the last world tournament and stuff like that. And I look at the deck list and it's like 14 out of the top 16 are identical. It's like, no, I'm good, thanks. It's not worth it. I think if I was to get back into it, I would be really heavily looking into anti-meta decks. My most successful deck that I ever ran was an anti-meta deck. Again, this is going back quite a few years. So a lot of the tournaments and stuff that I won were like, as I say, it was a sealed tournament. I've won. I can't remember if I've won hobby leagues elsewhere. The only hobby league I remember, I went to one hobby league in a town in Derbyshire called Beeston. I used to go to one in a town called Ripley semi-regularly because I had a mate who lived in Ripley. So I sort of semi-regularly went to that one. But the store that did it, they had a much bigger location in this town called Beeston. I went to this Beeston one. Whereas I was used to doing a tournament, I was used to going to hobby league and there would be like 10, 12 of us. Went to this one in Beeston and there was like 30 to 40 people. It was the biggest hobby league I've ever done. And as I say, this is a constructed deck. This is, you take your own deck. And it was at the time, for those who played back then, it was just after Legend of the Six Samurai came out. And if anyone remembers Legend of the Six Samurai on its release, it was broken as fuck. It was ridiculous. One of my mates bought a box of the boosters that it came in and got enough to build it and bought some extra cards so he could build it. And just like, we just couldn't beat him at all ever, because Legend of the Six Samurai was, I say, completely broken when it first came out. Yeah, it was built on the original Six Samurai. They haven't been popular for a very long time. Yeah, but it was built on the original Six Samurai set, which kind of came and went. Six Samurai was never really a big thing. But then, yeah, as I say, Legend of the Six Samurai came out and just blew everything out of the water. Yeah, I was running an anti-meta deck. I was running Gravekeepers at the time. The only real thing you could do against there was a couple of most of the Six, in fact I think all of the Six Samurai were warriors. So there was a couple of anti-warrior cards you could use. There was the main one was a plant. I can't remember what the plant was called. It was something like Mimic Plant, or I can't remember, but like basically everyone at that event had 2 copies of this plant card in their side decks to swap in and out. And yeah, I won that hobby league. I won I managed to avoid Six Samurai until my final round, and in the final round I was up against Six Samurai, and he beat me in the first round, but in the second two rounds I added in the 2 plant cards, and that was enough to beat him. It was good session. I didn't get a prize for winning, because they just like, you got points on your Konami card, and I still got my Konami card actually. You got points on your Konami card, and that raised your rankings. But everyone got a reward pack. Again, I can't remember what those packs were called. I think I got like an ultra rare. Oh, it was a dark dark warrior that rode a horse. It was a really popular card. It's like, could be like splashed in. I can't remember. I never had one before, so I was really pleased. Yeah. And yeah, that's how we got on. Yeah, we started off with Otacon. Shall we open it? Let's open this. Let's have a decent look at it. As you can tell by my display case, I'm not one for keeping things in boxes. Oh, it's like dark master build. No, hi, dark master or dark. I don't know. It had dark in it. It was dark. It was a very dark horse knight. Oh, Dr. Hal Otacon in Doctor. There he is. There he is. My birthday present from my brother. Very nice. It's a bit, you can't see it very well because of the light. That's, he's got quite a detailed name. It's blurry on camera because obviously focus. But it's actually a very detailed. I think under a magnifying glass, it could probably work. I could probably make out words. But that is a very good duck. Like lots of detail. I love the hair. So much detail in her hair. That's so cool. There's so many of them. They're called tubs, and they're essentially like the second. You know, it's that kind of the next thing after Funko. Yeah, they're really cool. So I've got Snake. I've got a Genome Soldier, and the Genome Soldier has a little hole in his head because he has like an exclamation mark on a pole that goes in the top of his head, so it looks like he's got an alert. Unfortunately, I accidentally dropped it on the floor once and snapped the pole in half. I've been meaning to either get another one or like contact Tubbs and say, could you just send me that again? Cyborg Ninja, which is really nice and shiny. And then Ocelot. Ocelot as he appears in MGS3, which is weird because they're all very much MGS1 inspired, except Ocelot. Yeah, because even Otacon here, that's clearly MGS1 Otacon. That's not MGS2 Otacon. He wore this puffer jacket in MGS1. By MGS2, he was it was more of a lab coat than a puffer jacket. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. A 3D printer would work actually. It's kind of weird that they're all MGS1 inspired, and then you've got MGS3 Ocelot. Otter Duck. Well, we all know what Caro's getting for the girlfriend for Christmas. Yeah, as I said, the last one in the set that I now don't have is Psychomantis, which is obviously I don't know why Duck TV would want a duck. I don't know. Yeah, that was really nice. That was as I say, that was from my brother. I got money off my parents. I got money off Heidi's parents. I got in addition to the money, I got £10 worth of scratch cards from Heidi's parents. They like to give some send some scratch cards in a card as well. And of the 10, as I said, there's about 3 of them, and altogether they were worth £10. And I won £10, so at least broke even. Heidi took me out for dinner, out for lunch. We all went out for Sunday lunch. There's a photo of that on the Discord server. I posted that on Twitter. I don't post pictures of Alex very often on Twitter, but I did post that one on Twitter. And we went bowling. She absolutely thrashed me, as she always does, because she's far better. But I'm really inconsistent bowling. I think I got 3 strikes across 2 games, but then I got gutters and ones because I'm just super inconsistent. I'm gonna need a link to where you can get those ducks you can get from all over the place now. So they're called tubs. There we go. And there's loads. I've seen Star Trek ones. Oh, thanks. Yeah, 40. Yeah, that's no 35. I'm not ashamed to tell you my real age. 35. I am halfway to 70. Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it? Halfway to 70. I just got to repeat what I've already done in my life. I'm 70. Jeez. Yeah, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't put my age in a bio because I never update it. So yeah, that was Heidi took me out for lunch and went bowling. I got money from my parents. Alex got me a Bluey calendar. So we have a family wall calendar downstairs. You know, one of the ones where you've got like four slots that you can put each person's stuff in, which I bought because we desperately needed one. And I bought a Mandalorian one. But I now already have my 2025 one. It's a Bluey one. I'm not kidding. I seriously love Bluey. Bluey is so good. Like if I wasn't a parent, then I wouldn't watch it. But I'm so glad I am so that I can watch it. Bluey is amazing. Bandit, Bluey's dad, is one of my role models. Like, he is such a good... I'm sorry, I'm seeing my eye all of a sudden. I just get so choked up when I'm talking about Bluey. It's just... gets in my ear. A Bandit is such a good role model as a dad. It's I just want to be Bandit so much because he loves his kids so much and he plays and he's silly but he's also a great dad. It's just, I love it. I really do. And there's some really good jokes in there for the thing that makes a really good kids show is when they can put jokes in that adults can appreciate, that kids they don't have to be dirty. They don't have to be like, some jokes are a little risky. But it's the kind of jokes where it will absolutely fly. A child will find it funny because they said a funny word or something like that. Whereas an adult will see the deeper joke in there and be like, oh, that's clever, and it does it all the time. There's so many times where Bluey will make those kind of jokes. There is one, I haven't come across it yet, but there is one episode. In fact, I might not have come across it because it might not be available. There is one episode which was banned in some places. I don't know if it was banned in the UK, where like Bandit is trying to teach them about pregnancy. And I think like he pretends to be pregnant, and the whole idea of a man being pregnant. You know what the US is like with that kind of thing. That's as I don't know if it's banned over here. I've not come across the episode yet. Although we're not far off finishing. There's only 3 seasons. There's 50 episodes per season, and I think I just watched episode 40 of season 3. We obviously once we're done, we'll start again. Alex hasn't really paid that much attention to it. It's just colours on a screen, and it's nice for him. But we'll definitely watch through it again. Yeah, well, it's not often much better in the UK. I can tell you that for true. Anyway, should we get on with let's get on with some speedrunning. On the subject of shows, I finally started watching Fallout yesterday. Heidi and I finished watching everything that we were watching. We need to move on to Gen V. We watched through the whole of The Boys season 5 together when it came out. We haven't started watching anything else together. We do want to watch Gen V because we never watched Gen V. But yeah, I've been looking for something to watch on my own for a bit again. And Heidi said she wasn't that fussed about Fallout, so I started watching Fallout. I am the kind of fan who believes that New Vegas is better than 3. I've played a little bit of 1. It's different. I've got 1 on my Vita actually. It's really difficult to play on Vita. It doesn't translate well to Vita. It's like a straight up port. It's not like adapted. It's not like adapted to Vita. So it is, you're moving a mouse cursor around. I think it has touchscreen as well, but everything's so small on the screen, it's quite difficult to see. I won't like the show. I enjoyed that. I've watched the first episode and I really enjoyed the first episode. as with most video game adaptations now, whether they're good or not, the attention to detail is always fantastic. I watched both seasons of Halo. Halo's okay. Halo as a series on its own is pretty good. Season 2 was a lot better than season 1, but it's just not. It's not Halo. Master Chief is barely in his armor. You barely get to see him do Halo things. Stuff you'd expect from the games. They did the Fall of Reach and had nothing to do with the game. And Halo Reach is my favorite Halo game. I would have preferred them to just do a series and just adapt Halo Reach into a series, and that would have been amazing because Halo Reach is fantastic. So yeah, it's not a bad show. It's just not Halo. But the attention to detail in Halo is fantastic. The armor looks amazing. The suits, the weapons, the warthogs, the enemies, the Covenant. It all looks fantastic, and that's the main thing I took away from the first episode of Fallout. Everything looks great. There's enough difference because they have made it very clear that it's a different story. It's not a story based on the other ones, but it's still set in the same. It's all canon. It's all in the same. I think it was either Todd Howard or one of the directors said that for lack of a better term, it's essentially Fallout 5. The series is essentially Fallout 5, but as a TV show instead of a game. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. 5 minutes into the show, there's a lore mistake. I mean, the interpretation of exactly how the bombs dropped has always changed slightly throughout. Although, is that only 4? Actually, Fallout 4 is the only. Is Fallout 4 the only game in the series where you've actually witnessed the dropping of the bombs? Because if so, I'm assuming that means that there's. Because I played the start of Fallout 4 and never really got into it. I don't remember the opening that. I'm only assuming that there's differences between Fallout 4's dropping of the bombs and the series dropping of the bombs. Yeah, I played a little bit of 1. I've never touched 2. I've never touched tactics. I played through the whole of 3. I started one of the DLCs. I can't remember which one, but I'd played so much Fallout 3 by that point. I'd kind of had my fill. I did exactly the same thing with New Vegas. It took me 3 attempts to get into New Vegas. 3 attempts. First time I tried, I played on my PS3, and this was when I wasn't playing on my PS3 that much anymore. It kind of fell by the wayside. I tried a second time, and I just struggled to get into it. And then the third time, absolutely fell in love with it. I learned Caravan. I played so much Caravan, and yeah, New Vegas. The story for New Vegas is just fantastic. It's so good. The factions, Benny, the whole way that it plays out. It's just fantastic. Such a good game. Fallout 4, as I said, I played a little bit of. I played quite a bit of Fallout Shelter when it first came out. I've got 76 installed because it's on Game Pass. I've not touched it. I will do at some point, I'm sure. I heard it's apparently it's good now. I think the thing with New Vegas is New Vegas is just Fallout 3 again. As far as gameplay and stuff goes, there's barely any difference in gameplay and stuff. There's a few elements here and there that were added. But New Vegas is just Fallout 3 again. But I do think Vegas's story and setting is just better than 3's. That's not to say that I don't like 3's. 3 deserves all of the credit it gets. 3 was an absolute, this behemoth when it first came out. There's reasons why 3 won so many Game of the Year awards. Right. Anyway, time. We should probably get on. It's now 20 to 9, 40 minutes in, and all we've been doing is chatting and looking at ducks. Don't forget, we've been looking at otter duck. Otter duck. Otterduck's now gonna just replace me. I'm just gonna hold Otterduck up. Hey Snake, look out! Those guys are in there with you. Copy Gapper. Oh, Caro, sorry, I did see your message earlier about thanking me for the for Friday. If anyone didn't see, on Friday, Caro ran Metal Gear Solid 2 at Speed Docs. I was commentating for them. It was a really good run from the plant onwards. I don't think Caro will mind me saying that from the plant onwards, it was a really good run. Caro really went outside of their comfort zone with Tanker. But I think it's courageous that you did. I think it was really good to see that, and it was still fun. That's the thing. It was still fun. People still had fun. People still enjoyed watching it. So I wouldn't worry about it. I had fun. I thought it was great. I thought it was really cool to see. And the fact that you had a backup plan, you knew how to get out of it and just sort of get on was good. It showed resilience, and that's what we like to see. It would have been really easy for you to have just given up and just gone, that's it. I'm done. This run has broken me. I'm just gonna have to walk away. But you didn't. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and as always, I really enjoyed commentating for you because it's a great run. Very easy. So we are indeed back on
After the end of World War
back
II,
on Metal Gear
the
Solid
world was
3
split
again.
into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Segment. So quickly swap that over. So we're back on Metal Gear Solid 3. Trying to get a PB of under 105. That's the aim at the moment. Trying to get under 1 hour 5 minutes. And this is the reason for this is because I'm working towards running all 5 games in the series back to back. So the 5 games that are included, the 5 main games that are included as part of the Master Collection Volume 1. That is Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and this Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So, as I say, in probably October, maybe November, depends how long this takes for me to sort of get back into all of them. We've done the easy bit first with the trilogy. It's the 2 2D games that I'm most worried about. But as I say, some probably maybe October, more likely November. I think I don't know yet. I will be running all 5 games back to back, attempting to beat the world record of a little under 5 hours. That'll be a special bonus stream. We'll do it on a weekend. Have a lot of fun with it. And of course, I'm raising money for charity. Whilst doing that, raising money for a UK-based charity called City of Sanctuary, which is a charity that is all about making the UK a more welcoming and safe place for displaced people, particularly refugees and asylum seekers. Considering the rhetoric that we've seen in the UK over the past sort of month or so, I thought it was really important to be supporting a charity that's trying to help people who are disproportionately vilified in the UK. Yeah, I think it's really important. So yeah, that is the plan. We refreshed and de-rusted on Metal Gear Solid 1. In fact, I also ran because I'm running very easy in every category because obviously I'm going to run the fastest difficulty setting. As part of running MGS1 very easy, I also did some practice back on the PSTV, the console version, because it is the fastest version of the game, and I got the new world record. So as part of this D-Rus, I've already got 1 world record, which is really nice. Yay! My new bot's working. So yeah, that was really good to achieve. And then did Metal Gear Solid 2 for a couple of weeks. That's been okay. I got my sub 105, which is what I was after. And now we're back on MGS3. This one shouldn't need as much casual. Was not casual. That came about because I did a run off stream because I knew I just couldn't concentrate enough whilst on stream to do it. Yeah, it was good. I didn't think I'd hold on to it for very long. I assumed someone in the MGSR community would come along and want to take it because it wasn't a very good world record. It can be beaten quite easily. The main thing is anyone has to just repeat what I did and actually get a good liquid fight, and they've got it. But it's still held actually, which is nice. I haven't held a Metal Gear Solid 1 world record for quite some time, so it's quite nice to have again. We want to cure this bandage, splint, bandage, and that is the virtuous mission complete. We've got a save boss there, and we can go. So one thing you may notice is my stream bot is now working correctly. So I've been slowly transferring stuff over from I still use for some stuff a sort of a streaming platform. I hesitate to call it a bot because it's not just a bot, but a streaming platform called Lumia Stream. The main hook with Lumia Stream is that it has a lot of lighting control. So if you've got like Elgato lights or Philips lights or Philips Hue and stuff like that, it works with all of those. I have a couple. The main one I have is my main sort of pink floodlight that you see behind me. I have that on a that the light itself isn't anything special. It's that's just a cheap little floodlight. It's a little floodlight that's designed for back gardens. I got from Amazon. I got 2 of them for about 15 quid each. But the one that I'm using, I haven't got anywhere to plug my other one in at the moment. The one that I'm using is plugged into a smart switch, which can be controlled by Lumia Stream. So it allows me to turn the lights on and off. So whenever I get a raid, the light turns off, and then once the raid alert is over, the light comes back on. That's the main thing that Lumia has going for it. It has a very good overlay system. All of my overlays are done through Lumia Stream. But it's had some drawbacks lately. I think I've been a little harsh against Lumia Stream when I've talked about some of those drawbacks, because it seems like it's a drawback that's hitting everyone. Basically, no one, apart from StreamerBot now, which is what I'm switching to, seems to have properly transitioned to allow people to make the most of multi-streaming. A lot of them are capable of doing Twitch and YouTube at the same time. StreamerBot is the only one that I've found that can do multiple YouTube streams at the same time. And I stream across multiple YouTube streams. I do a horizontal stream and a vertical stream. I'm just going to concentrate on the Ocelot fight here for a second. So we swap to the easy gun, roll outside, shoot that guy. Over here, shoot there. That distracts every guard in the area. Going to then come and stand here, swap to a stun grenade, throw that stun grenade. That should stun all of them, and we should be done. Beautiful. That's an absolutely spot on Ocelot fight. Ocelot unit fight, I should say. So yeah, as I say, StreamerBot seems to be the only bot that I've found that seems to be capable of managing multiple that seems to be capable of managing multiple YouTube streams. It supports Trovo. I still actually don't know what Trovo is. It doesn't support Kick, and it doesn't support TikTok, which are the main drawbacks of it. I don't care because I don't stream to TikTok, and unless something changed with TikTok streaming, I probably wouldn't anyway. I've only ever heard people say that streaming to TikTok is fairly pointless. Oh, am I going to get smacked by that? Hi, Alexi. Ooh, I didn't. A bit awkward, but oh well. And I wouldn't touch Kick with a 10-foot barge pole. The only thing I've been told about Kick is it might be worth creating an account just so that no one can steal my username and try passing themselves off as me. I don't think I'm important enough as a streamer to really warrant having copycats, but you never know. the options are there. So yeah, everywhere seems to be doesn't seem to have really grasped how to manage multiple streams, but StreamerBot has now. So yeah, I've been slowly trying to migrate stuff over. I'm worried about the overlays. I think that's going to be quite tricky to manage over. I think it'll mainly be it's all got to be built in OBS. StreamerBot doesn't have its own overlay or manager. Either that or I look for like an online overlay manager and do it that way. I used to use Stream Elements at one point for overlay stuff. So I could go back to something like that. The advantage of doing a web-based overlay system is it means I don't have to have another app open. But we'll see what happens. So the other option is to just build it into OBS, which is a bit trickier, but it can be done. All right, Ocelots. I'm going to concentrate on this fight as well. Oh, Snake Snake didn't swap to the easy gun because it wasn't on my previous. That's why. Take a quick death and try that again. There, that's better. Throw stun grenades. Back to the easy gun. Want to shoot him in the head here. Very important that you shoot Ocelot in the heads because you want to do headshot damage and also head. Shoot him in the head. Lovely. Second time that was really good. And we're in. So yeah, I've been slowly migrating stuff away from Lumia and on to StreamerBot. And as the chat's the most important thing because it's the one thing that really works. I'd already transferred the actual chat that's displayed on screen over, so that's all handled by StreamerBot now instead of Lumia. But the one that I did over the weekend is I've now set all of my chat commands to StreamerBot. That now means whenever there is a chat command that comes in, it will display correctly on Twitch and on both YouTube streams. That was the thing Lumia just couldn't do. And even then, it seemed to struggle to do one YouTube stream most of the time. I think I don't know whether to do, and people can give me their opinions here, because I only really sort of realised it when Remy Demon used the charity command there. Remy Demon used charity, and because of the way I've set it up, a message, the message in response to that went to Twitch and both YouTube channels. My question is, should I have it so that if a Twitch user uses it, it only goes to Twitch? That was not a great start. Flashbang. Okay, that was okay. I am streaming to YouTube, yes. I stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time now. Okay. Oh, sucks. That was not the best boss fight. So yeah, that would be my question. In the same way that, but again, Blues for the Red Sun has just used the YouTube command, which sends a message out directly into my YouTube channel. Should a Twitch user sending a command also send it to YouTube? And vice versa. The one thing I wouldn't be able to, the one thing I'm pretty sure I can't do. In fact, no, I'm like 99% certain I can't do. The one thing I wouldn't be able to do is separate the YouTube streams. So there's that. I stream to shorts and stream horizontally at the same time. I don't think I could say that if a shorts command came in, it only went to shorts. I can say YouTube commands only go to YouTube and Twitch commands only go to Twitch, but I can't say only. I can't say only YouTube Shorts go to YouTube Shorts and vice versa. I'm like, as I'm 99% certain. there's a very simple toggle for Twitch and YouTube, but it'd be very difficult to select different YouTube streams. I think there's potentially an argument that says that I have one for Twitch as well. So if you type !Twitch, it'll give you the link to my Twitch channel. I think there's at least an argument that says the Twitch one should be deactivated for Twitch and the YouTube one should be deactivated for YouTube. But I don't know. What are people's thoughts on the subject? No, just start swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Thinking of different categories. This room changes with like every different category. Extreme's different. Very easy keratins is different. Leave it like. I mean, the main thing with a lot of the informational ones, you know, like my Discord server and Twitter and stuff like that. If someone on one channel hasn't requested it but gets that information, it's still good for that information to be shared there. But I don't know if it would be quite daunting. I wouldn't have thought so because I do have some timers as well. Actually, I did have some timers. I haven't reactivated. I haven't looked to see how timers would work on StreamerBot yet. It was a timer is where you have a message that goes out every so often. So every 20, I think I used to do them like every half an hour, I'd get one message, and then on the other half hour, I'd get a different message. I haven't looked into those yet. So I suppose it's not that dissimilar from that. The main thing I need to look at the moment is any of those messages that go out currently appears on the chat feed. The chat feed that's on stream 3 times. If it's 3 times in my chat feed, there's nothing I can do about that. Actually, there probably is something I can do about that. Maybe. I might be able to. It depends on the chat functionality. But the solution for it appearing on the chat feed is quite simple. You can have. I'm pretty sure the chat feed that I'm using has a function to ignore certain users. So I just have it ignore NickRP Streambot. I need to create a new YouTube channel called NickRP Streambot as well. Thankfully, StreamerBot supports bot channels quite really easily. So when you go onto the account to add your Twitch account or add your YouTube account, there's a separate spot for your bot account. It just handles sending out messages. So you can tell it to.
Who's that?
You can tell it to either stream to to send messages out as the bot, or messages out as the main account. They're actually both set. I've got the setting for both of them to be the bot, but because there is no YouTube bot, it just defaults to go back. I shouldn't have got spotted by that guard. The quickest way of resolving that is a quick reset. One of the lovely things about MGS3, because we have the fake death pill, it's really easy to reset a room. Ugh, 20 seconds behind. Lovely. So yeah, that's... Oh, that was interesting. Wasn't intending to do that, but alright. That alert should wear off? No, it won't. That's right. That doesn't make a huge amount of difference. It's only on the way in that an alert will screw you over. On the way out, it's not a big problem. Switch to... That's what's good. The reload area feature still works in the auto splitter. Oh yeah. Yes, the auto splitter does have a reload feature. I assume it still works. I haven't used any of the auto splitters ones in a while. Now. To my stun grenades. And now we have the fear. The fear is an incredibly simple boss fight. It is actually easier on harder difficulties. There we go. And that is the fear. So for those who've not seen that before, the fear, for some reason, the fear, for some reason, if you stun the fear with a stun grenade, any follow-up damage that's done to him, if it's lethal, it's converted to non-lethal. So that's why I did that, and then immediately whipped out a lethal gun. Whoops. Oh, slight time loss. Not getting that trick right. So yeah, we're stunning with a stun grenade. Whoops, it's 2 rolls. And then swap to a lethal pistol and shoot him. In other difficulties, I don't know what you do in easy. In fact, the only other difficulty I know is European Extreme. So I don't know what the middle grounds are. I believe for the middle grounds you do the European Extreme version, which is you run to a nearby tree, which is next to one of the swinging traps, throw a stun grenade, spring the trap, and the trap kills him instead. It just takes a little bit longer because you've got to make your way over to the tree and then use the fake death pill. It's just a little slower, but it's way easier. We're now making our way over to the fight against the end. Fairly straightforward fight. Make sure my stun grenades are on my previous. And hope I don't get shot. I've been shot a couple of times by the end.
I can't see.
Well, he that went horribly wrong. He didn't submit my run right. I don't have a time for very easy PC yet. I've never submitted a very easy PC run. So that went horribly wrong. For some reason, the end finished. Shooting a lot. Finished being dazed a lot quicker than he should have done. I'm not quite sure why. So I've had to follow him into here. There's not that many locations he's in here. He might.
What's the matter? I'm over here.
I'm gonna need to pull out these needles. I can't. There we go. That was bad. Ugh. That was terrible. Yeah, I don't quite understand why he came out of his stun that quickly, but it really screwed me over. But yeah, sometimes he does that. I don't quite know what I'd done wrong. He should stay dazed for quite some time. I'm wondering already whether I should just reset. This is almost certainly not going to be a PB after being a minute and 32 seconds behind. Now, I'll let you guys decide as I usually do. What would you like to see? Cosmic says reset. Oh, so bloody bored again. Caro says run it back. Oh. Blue says reset. We should just reset. All right. Take two. With knowing my runs, it can't be saved. Knowing where I'm at. If this was like really early on in my MGS3 career, then I wouldn't run it back. I'd keep going. This early on, I know for a fact it's over. I'm certainly not going to get sub 105 with that. Plus, there's a couple of other errors that I could do with fixing.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Let's see if I can open it.
Jack?
My window was not open. No wonder it's so bloody warm in here. Well, that plus lights and computer and other stuff. Right, here we go again. Step. I wish I was that consistent. I'm back on auto splitters again. It's been a little while since I last looked at auto splitters. I still need to go back and have a look at the Pampas and Celine one, because I got told that there was some issues with it double splitting, and I couldn't bring myself to go back to it. I'd spent so long on it, and I thought I'd got it right, and every test that I did was right, and then to get told, oh, it's still double splitting. Like, great. And the last time I got told that it was double splitting, it was user error and not a problem with the splitter. But I will go. I do need to go back to it. So eventually, I will learn Pampas and Celine, but because I played so much of it to build the auto splitter, I kind of really drained myself with it. I haven't been. I just haven't been able to bring myself to learn the run yet. It's a very complicated run as well. A lot of memory. Anyway, that's not the auto splitter I was looking at. Because I've been submitting Metal Gear Solid 1 to a couple of speedrun marathons. I've submitted to Fast for the Kids. Because Fast for the Kids is obviously I'm on the tech for that. Fast for the Kids now has its own command. If you want to use that, I need to come up with a decent way of showing like a list of commands. Lumia Stream did have one. Terrible line, probably. I need to find Lumia Stream did have a way of showing them, but it took you to a really terrible website. I should find a decent way of doing it. But yes, exclamation mark FTK or FFTK both work. Will give you the details of Fast for the Kids. So I've submitted Metal Gear Solid to that, but there might be some other Metal Gear Solid thing happening with that, which means if something else Metal Gear Solid related happens, my Metal Gear Solid 1 won't happen because I'll do it in a different place, different time. So I've submitted Klonoa 2 to it. Again, I was looking at through my games of what I could submit, and I felt like Klonoa 2 is always that one run that I can very easily just crack out, and it'll always be pretty good. I've also done the same now with Preventathon, because I felt like that's a marathon that would probably really appreciate a nice, colourful game like that. There we go. So with that, I've been back onto the auto splitter for it. I'm the auto splitter writer for Klonoa 2 from the Fantasy Reverie series, not Klonoa 1. So I might be doing a bit of looking into Klonoa 1. But I made some updates to it a little while ago. I think it was back in April, or back in June. It was either April or June. I did some updates to it because it always had a couple of bugs. They weren't huge. They weren't big enough to stop it from being functional, but they were always kind of annoying. But after the experience I've had with Pampas and Celine, I was able to go back in and really easily find solutions for them both, which was really nice. So that's now, those were fixed back then, but I released it onto the Discord server, but I never updated the major version of it. So if you know how auto splitters work, there's a big database of auto splitters online that the auto splitting community manages, and when you go, it's linked to LiveSplit. So when you go on LiveSplit and you specifically select a game from LiveSplit on your splits, you have, if that game has an auto splitter that matches, it will automatically be there as long as it's on that database. So the Fantasy Reverie one is on there. It's just not updated with the new changes. I need to do that. But one thing I wanted to do, the Klonoa one, was I wanted to add room splits. So at the moment for Klonoa 2, it splits at the end of every level. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to, because some people had requested it, and I'd like it as well, is for it to split on every room change. Rather than just every level. But I didn't want to do it until I could learn how to do undo splits and skip splits. So undoing splits and skipping splits is something you can do in LiveSplit. You do it with a hotkey. But I knew for a fact it could be done. I'm gonna oh, God damn it. That's not good. That's fine. Here. There we go, that should be fine. Okay, a little bit slow because I kind of messed up the initial roll, but apart from that, that was great. Okay, I think this might be quicker, going around this way, rather than trying to roll up and through, like off the bed and through the window and stuff like that. I don't always change my gun at that point. That might be a reason why that was it was an okay recovery. I forget if I'm getting this line wrong. I think I'm getting it wrong. Yeah, that's fine. It's because I'm so used to doing keratins, I don't usually go anywhere near that crocodile. Oh, I mean, that's exactly the same for Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 2 is worse for it. In Metal Gear Solid 3, you don't tend to roll around a lot because it's not faster to roll, but it's useful for getting over obstacles and stuff like that. Whereas in Metal Gear Solid 2, only with Raiden, it doesn't count with Snake. Snake has the same roll as he does in here, but if you do an aerial with Raiden, it's something like a quarter of a second faster than running. But if you like roll the wrong way or you roll into a wall or something, it's a massive time loss. Rolling is quite an art in MGS2. I've done MGS2 runs in the past where I forbid myself from doing random aerials just to try and improve my time by not messing any of them up. Let's get a good line in this room. My first attempt, I started going over for the keratin frog. There's the one issue with running all keratons for so long. All I ever want to do is go for the keratin. And then hopefully we can get this ocelot fight done first try. Yes, rolling the slope doesn't necessarily need to be. Oh, it's a bit far away. Oh. Okay, that was a good recovery again. Yeah, I sort of got locked out of shooting. You have to be very careful with MGS3's controls. There's a lot of stuff that will kind of lock you out if you do things too quickly. Shooting is one of them. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about. I was talking about auto splitters and Klonoa 2. I didn't want to do room splits until I could learn how to do undo and skip splitting. So undo and skip splitting you can do with hotkeys in live split, but I knew there was functionality to do them in auto splitting as well, because both MGS1, I can't remember if MGS1 does. I know Twin Snakes and MGS2 both have undo splitting, and I know MGS1 has skip splitting in it, but I had no idea. I searched through the code for both for those auto splitters and I couldn't find how it was done. I finally I thought it was going to be really complicated, but I finally found. I just searched for the term undo skip in the auto splitting Discord and found it straight away. It was really simple. So yeah, it now means I can do room split, and if someone accidentally goes back a room, accidentally goes back a room, or if they die, I need to work out exactly how I code it for them dying. But if they go back a room, then it can undo. That's what I wanted to do. Oh. Not ideal. It's the one thing that the Master Collection did not fix is the whole sort of lockout of weapons when you're quick swapping like that. You have to. Yeah, that's what I mentioned a second ago about sort of weapons getting locked out. You have to be very careful with your inputs. I got to say that the Master Collection has gotten a lot easier since we discovered that switching off dead zones in Steam input made a massive difference to aiming. That was always good. Yeah, it's the lockout of weapons is a bit weird, because as I recall, I could be wrong here. It was my understanding that lockout was only really present on the Xbox 360 version of the HD edition. It wasn't present on the PS3 version, and it is my understanding that the Master Collection is built from the PS3 version, not the Xbox 360 version, which surprises me. I would have thought it would be easier to port an Xbox game than it would be to port a PS3 game. As I say, my understanding is that these were built off the PS3 game. The only thing that I can assume is that the PS3 game is slightly different because it still has pressure-sensitive face buttons. The PS3's pressure-sensitive face buttons were not good. They were pretty poor. The PS2s were better, but it still wasn't a great thing. And not many games used it. For the Xbox 360 version, they had to change it, and they've retained that in this version as well. So the only thing I can assume is the way they converted the PS3 version's face buttons to the Xbox 360 version, not using them, they've done the exact same thing again for this port, and it's produced the same error. That's the only thing I can think of. Cool, got through before the support unit turned up. It's a good room. Did they actually change any copyrighted footage? I don't know. I haven't actually played through the game. I haven't actually played through any of the games watching all of the cutscenes. So I don't know the answer. Because they said for a very long time that they were working on it. But, you know, now in hindsight, I think it's probably safe to suggest that they probably fixed the licensing issues a very long time ago, but decided not to do anything about it so that they could release the Master Collection. Because as far as I'm aware, the original PS3 and Xbox 360 versions are still not available to download. I don't believe they ever came back. And they did get removed. I mean, if they didn't solve the licensing issues and they did have to be removed, then that would explain why the original HD edition versions are not available for download. Six clips. Oh, that's interesting. I never considered it. As a speedrunner, we don't watch the cutscenes. We don't really care that much. Yeah. So that's disappointing. But if that's the only way they could get around it, then so be it. There we go. Not going to get caught by that guy again. Wahoo! One day I should do a run where we watch all the cutscenes again. It'd be really cool. But not MGS4. I refuse. I refuse. Nobody needs to go through that. I did stream my first playthrough of Death Stranding, and we watched all the cutscenes because it was my first playthrough. That was a slog. God damn it, Kojima. Oh, I said Konami then. Footsteps. Oh, we're doing okay. Ooh. Three's probably my favorite speedrun. Twin Snakes will always be special just because it got me to GDQ. But I think three is my favorite. I am looking forward to Delta. The more I see of Delta, the more I'm liking the look of it. Yeah, speedrunning is going to be interesting. I think it will be very different. Oh, sorry, we would still talk about speedrunning.
Wasn't dead after all.
Nice. That's a gold. Yeah, I thought that would be a gold split. Not quite sure how when I stopped turning around. Sorry, when I stopped looking at the grounds, to throw the grenade, I sort of managed to turn Snake around. That was really handy, but it wasn't intentional. Casual leg break. Grab that fella. My main worry with Delta is whether there's going to have been much point in it. The control scheme's different. Obviously the graphics are an upgrade. but all of the cutscenes and dialogue are reused from MGS3. And from what we've seen so far, all of the environments are identical. Obviously, as I say, it's still rebuilt from the ground up. It's new graphics and stuff like that. But every map looks to be the same. I understand that there's still loading screens between rooms, so it's likely that the room structure will still be identical. And that's the kind of point where I do start to ask, why bother remaking it? I don't see the point in a remake that is a one-for-one recreation of the original game. If you're going to remake a game, remake it and do something with it. I think that's what's made the Resident Evil remake so successful, is that they did do them. As far as we're aware, from what they've said, they're not re-recording any voice lines. It is they are just reusing the voice lines from this. Right, hopefully that's better. I shot him in the... Damn it, I shot him in the... He's gone left, at least. I shot him in the... I didn't shoot him in the head. I shot him in the arm. Now, luckily, if you do this and he goes there, this is what I've learned from doing all keratins, because all keratins adds this RNG. If he goes left, he always appears here. Damn it!
Just getting started.
There we go. So that, thankfully, if he goes left, it's easy enough to do that. He always appears in that spot when he goes left. And we deliberately force that in. We deliberately let him move on in an all keratins run, and hope that he goes left. If he goes left, then we've got good RNG. You can get all of the keratins nice and quickly. If he goes right, you've got bad RNG. Obviously, I'm now 6 seconds behind. That was a big time loss. It's a shame because that's not the same thing that happened before. I shot him in the arm instead of shooting him in the head. That was the problem there, and just didn't do enough damage to him. But as I'm only now 10 seconds behind, we'll carry on and see how I get on. This isn't going to be the only run of the day. Blues there, worried about TTS syndrome. Yes, the biggest problem that the Twin Snakes had is that the environments and most importantly, the level design for Metal Gear Solid 1 was designed for the Metal Gear Solid 1 engine. It was not designed for the Metal Gear Solid 2 engine. It wasn't designed with hanging considered. It wasn't designed with... The boss fights weren't designed with first-person shooting in mind. And so Twin Snakes loses a lot of what made MGS1 work, because you have these either shortcuts or just think... The best example is the Ocelot fight. The Ocelot fight on Twin Snakes is garbage compared to Metal Gear Solid 1. Some bits are an improvement. I will always argue that the tank fight in Twin Snakes is better because of first-person shooting. Both sniper wolf fights are still the same, but the improved sniper mechanics works in its favor. That's kind of it for boss fights, I think. Liquid isn't as good. It's still a similar fight, but the mechanics of the fighting is both characters' fighting style and the way the fight plays out is different. Yeah, the difficulty that you're going to have, and from the trailers and stuff that we've seen, it looks like they are simply using the Ground Zero's Phantom Pain moveset. I can only imagine, and I would hope that if that is what they've done and they're using those movesets, I would really, really hope that they have at least... I should cure, because otherwise I'm going to run out of stamina. There we go. Slow. I would hope that at the very least, they have removed the sprint function, because if the layout of the game is identical to this, sprinting will not work. Sprinting will be a really, really dumb mechanic. You can't blame him for that. It's the mechanics of Ground Zeroes and MGS5. I should just say MGS5, shouldn't I? The mechanics of MGS5 are really, really good. It works so well. I think there's a reason that Helldivers 2 pretty much just copied it. I've seen some side-by-side comparisons of Phantom Pain and Helldivers 2, and it does look like Helldivers 2 just reused the same moveset, but for a good reason. It's a very, very good moveset. But as I say, I don't think sprinting in these environments works. So I hope, if it is just them reusing it, I hope they've removed sprint. Because for me, sprint just wouldn't work in these environments. The game's not big enough to warrant a sprint. Sprint worked in Phantom Pain because it was a big open environment and you could sprint. There was plenty of places to sprint around. Ground Zeroes was similar. It was still, I know it wasn't as big a map, but it was a pretty open map. There was lots of space to move around. And particularly if there's still going to be... loading screens between each area, then some of these areas, if you're able to get past the guards and you can just sprint from one room to the next, you're just going to be in loading screens the whole time. And speedrunning it won't be fun, because it will be simply sprint from one side of the room to the next. Rinse, repeat. But we got to wait and see. We don't know. We haven't had all the details yet. IGN. I would hope that if there are loading screens, that it's a very quick transition. I think it's dumb that there's going to be that there's going to be loading screens. It annoys me, actually. IGN recently had a hands-on preview, and they confirmed that there were still loading screens between areas. I don't know if it's like loading like some of the areas could be chained together. It could be like that there's loading screens between some areas and not others. They might have joined. That's what I would think would work. Like when I went through that door just then, this is a relative. These, putting mountains all together would be pretty good. I think you could get away, and with the cutscenes as well. The cutscenes can act. I wasn't listening. Oh, he is over here.
I shoot Ben Rim.
Oh, what? I've been lucky. Thank you, Fury. That's good there. Fairly good Fury, right? Yeah, Sacraveno could all be one area. Because I'd say I think the loading screens can be masked by the cutscenes. It's like going up this ladder. This could just go that could just go straight into a cutscene of Snake climbing the rest of that ladder. And as the cutscene ends, you're then in here. There's ways of masking loading screens with cutscenes. If it's done well. You look at MGS4. MGS4 did it really well in some cases. Like the best example is just before you fight the frogs. Just before you fight the frogs in Act 1, Snake's in a cutscene, and Snake transitions beautifully out of that cutscene and into gameplay. It looks perfect. So that would be one way of doing it. Damn it, I shot him again. I need to have a look at the timing for that. Shooting him is fine, it's just slightly slower. What you want to do is you want to hit the railing next to him. That startles him and causes him to run to the alarm point, and then you grab him just before you hit the alarm. It's just a little bit quicker than running out and dragging him. I can't remember the exact position you need to be in to hit that railing. It's better than not getting him at all. The important thing. Yeah, if it's still going to be exactly the same in that it's, you know, you move out of one area, into a black screen into the next one. Like, it annoys me because of what we've been told for so long. I can't remember. Oh, what am I doing? I can't remember which game it was. I think it was Black Myth Wukong. I can't remember. There's been a game announced recently, or that's come out recently, where everyone's pissed off again about the fact that it's going to be in 30 FPS. It's only 30 FPS. And you know, people are complaining that it's only in 30 FPS. And then you got the counterclaimers saying, you know, because some people in their complaints say that 30 FPS is unplayable, and you shouldn't, you know, nothing should ever be 30 FPS because it can't be played, and it's an assault on the eyes and stuff like that. And it's like, that's too far. We're gonna mute the audio for this. Stop it. 30 FPS is not unplayable. We've been playing in 30 FPS for a very, very long time. So my issue isn't that 30 FPS is unplayable. I vastly prefer playing in 60 FPS in most cases. Some cinematic experiences do work better in lower frame rates, but certainly if you're playing competitive games like, you know, FPSs and stuff like that, you want the highest frame rate possible to really be able to see it all. But the thing that annoys me so much about the sort of 60 FPS debate, and why I am on the side of 60 FPS, you know, at least 14, you should at the very, very least 1440p 60 FPS. You know, I think there's an argument that says at the very least 4K 60 FPS, but let's, you know, only have our cake and eat it. And the reason that I get annoyed about that is because we've been pushed for so long that we have to have the next thing. We have to have the next console. PlayStation's just announced the PS5 Pro, and Xbox has just announced a new Xbox, a digital-only Xbox Series S. And, you know, they keep pushing us with, oh yeah, it's the most powerful console ever, and you must have this console. We're going to upgrade this and that, and it's going to cost this much. And they want us to spend so much money and more of our money on consoles and upgrading to the next one every few years and all of that. And it's like, if it's that great, why are we still at a case where we can't have 60 FPS on our consoles? Stop pushing us and telling us that it's all, you know, that we have to spend all of this money and we have to have this next thing because it's the next evolution of gaming. It's the next best, the most powerful gaming console ever. And you're still under-delivering. And that's the thing. It's not that 60 FPS is necessarily, 30 FPS is necessarily a bad thing. It's that consoles and console makers are constantly under-delivering. They're over-promising and under-delivering. They're telling us, oh yes, you will have this if you buy this, and we're not getting it. Now for me, I don't really care that much. I'm a PC gamer mainly. I do have an Xbox Series S. I don't play on it that often. I have been trying to play on it a bit more recently, because ever since the Master Collection came out, my main reason for playing on my Xbox Series S has gone out the window. The main reason I owned an Xbox Series S was so that I could play the Xbox 360 version of Snake Eater. And that's why I used to speedrun on. But since the Master Collection came out, I've been playing this instead. This is just way easier to boot up and stream. I'm playing Neon White on my Series S. I've been really enjoying it. It's been weird playing a first person like that on. It's been weird playing a first person like Neon White on a with a controller again. But I'm enjoying it. It's been good. You do have to roll there. You have to roll for that dog, either to avoid him or to knock him out of the way. But yeah, I wouldn't be so fussed about, you know, the lack of 60 FPS on consoles if it weren't for the fact that we're constantly being told that these are the next, you know, the best systems, you know, and they cost an astronomical amount of money. And also the kind of excuses that come with it about, you know, oh, yeah, we can't do this. It's like these consoles are constantly striving to take PC gamers away from PCs and say, you know, you must have the next console. It's like 4K 60 FPS. PCs have been doing that for years. Now a PC costs a lot more, but a PC is a lot more versatile, can do a lot more, in, you know, there's well, that's it. There's so much more you can do with a PC, and it's much more customizable. You know, I could play any game if I had the monitor support it. If I plugged my computer into my main TV downstairs, I could play any game I like as long as the game supports it. I could play 4K 60 FPS, and my computer wouldn't have any problem doing that. But I think it's I think the main thing that I always forget is just how long the PS5 and the Xbox Series SX have been out. They have been out for quite a while. You know, it is time for an upgrade. I don't think we'll see much more sort of fidelity in. You know, I don't think there's many more advancements. I always think the handkerchief is an item and not a weapon. Because it doesn't sound like a weapon, does it? It's 20 FPS. No, I don't think there's that many. I almost hit continue there. I don't think there's that many more advancements that we're gonna get in video games now. You know, we've got pretty realistic graphics now. There's only so much you can do, and the more they try and push it, the more game development is going to be unfeasible. We already hear the big wigs talking about the fact that game development's so expensive, so difficult these days because, you know, graphics, and it's like nobody asked for every single one of Lara Croft's hair strands to be digitally rendered, but you decided that that's what you wanted to do. So it's, you know, there's that balance, and as a result of that, I don't think there's much room for much more. I think the only innovations that we're probably going to see in video gaming over the next few, VR's probably still got some way to go. I hope AI dies. I hope we don't. I mean, there's a news story recently about some team that have made an AI Doom map generator, and it's just garbage, because it still requires, as with most AI stuff, it still requires you know, some original creativity and insight to be pumped into it. I've equipped the wrong cardboard box. Some original insight and creativity to be pumped into it first. I do need the SVD. I don't need the Mosing the gun. I think I realized this the other day. Also, I don't usually do that that menuing until after here, so I can get rid of the M1911, because no matter what state you're in, Snake will always start this room with the M1911A out. So actually, and very easy is kind of the only one you want to do it on, because other difficulties, if you make an error, you'll have to redo the whole room. It's extremely difficult to make an error in very easy, certainly in this room. Just makes your menuing a little bit better. Yeah, I think the main advancement we're gonna see in gaming in general over the next few years is sort of a toning back a little bit and trying to find more efficient ways of doing things. I think there's been far too much advancement in the field with, you know, with graphics and with certain oh crap. I haven't got my fake death ball out, have I? No, I've screwed this up, haven't I? God damn it. Yeah, this run's dead, by the way, now. But I don't think I'll keep going past the bike chase. The bike chase is so long, it's not really worth it. Ooh, whoops. I am planning on going back to Snake Eater 3D at some point. Oh yeah, I talked about this last week because I want to do Snake Eater 3D so that when Delta's out, I can do the Snake Eater trilogy and do Snake Eater 3D, and Delta back to back. Because that'd be a cool speedrun. That'd be such a weird speedrun. The differences between those three games.
During
Slam. Oh yeah, I'm nearly a minute behind now. Ah! I at least got a gold split there. Yeah, I don't really see much point in sitting through the whole of the bike chase, being a minute behind. We're going to be here all day. Oh, dear. Oh, all right. Third time's the charm. Haven't actually finished a run yet. Make Delta cutscene unskippable for more fun. Wonder if Delta will have VE. That's a good question. Will Delta have the easy gun? I think the one thing that would be going against Delta having the easy gun is the easy gun is kind of based on the is it called the banana gun? Was it the easy shake? There's a very similar weapon for Snake versus Monkey modes. Which isn't in the HD edition. The Snake vs. Monkey mode is exclusive to the PS2 versions because it's a crossover with Ape Escape, and Ape Escape is a PlayStation property, so when they did the HD edition, it wasn't available because it was also on Xbox, and they didn't include it in the PS3 version. In the same way as something that I had something in my mind for same way as something else, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Ground Zeroes had exclusive stuff for the Xbox 360 version and the PS3 version, but eventually both versions got each other's. So I don't think it was that. Metal Gear Solid 2 HD, and actually the I believe the PC version and the Xbox version of Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance don't include the skateboarding demo, because that was again a PlayStation 2 game, so it's exclusive to the PS2 version of Substance. As you say, it's a good skateboarding game. It's quite a bit of fun. Yeah, so because the easy gun is based on the same gun that's in Snake vs. Monkey mode, or is it? Is it that the easy gun in Very Easy was made because they made the gun for Snake vs. Monkey mode, or is it that they made the easy gun for Very Easy and decided to use it in the Snake vs. Monkey mode game? We don't know which came first. But it could be a reason against it. There won't be Snake versus Monkey mode in Delta. I would be extraordinarily surprised if there was Snake versus Monkey mode in Delta. But it could be a reason why they don't make it, because it may have been made for that game mode, and they just reused it. So if they're not making that game mode, they might not make that gun. Who knows? What I'm hoping is there will at least be some sort of collectible. From the screenshots that IGN showed, they showed a one of the ducks, the Garco ducks, wearing like a ghillie suit. So the Garco duck is the duck version of the keratin frog. And when you wear that makes a ga 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 kind of noise. It was first using MGS3's online mode for like capture the flag sort of stuff. And Garco, there is a Garco camouflage in MGS3. You get it in Shawnee Prud. And when you wear it, whenever you go into a room that you haven't shot the keratin in, you can hear the keratin croaking. This is one way of finding keratins that you haven't shot. We did it. This year. We used it. I did an all keratins European Extreme run for Insta Speedathon. It was a really good run. I thought I'd shot every keratin, and when we got to I finished the run, finished the stream, I came off. As I always do, I never watch through the credits during a marathon. Not something you do, but I always post my score screen to Twitter afterwards so that people can see it. And it wasn't keratin. I was really disappointed. So the very next stream, I loaded the same save file that I'd done that keratin run on and ran through the whole game wearing the Garco suit so we could figure it out. And it was the weapons lab with the Shagahod in it. It was the frog that you shoot just before you put the last C3 down. And that frog has now been nicknamed Knuckles. Because I was talking to the host Alara during that room all about Sonic and Knuckles. And Sonic 3 and the fact that I think it was about the fact that this year we've got the Sonic 3 movies, and we had the Knuckles series. We had Sonic 3 and Knuckles in 2024, which is really cool. So yeah, because we were talking about that, we've now dubbed that keratin Knuckles, because that's wherever I got distracted. Because we went back and watched the VOD, and yeah, I just completely ignore it. Didn't even look at it. It's amazing. Right. Let's attempt number 3. Can I do a run where I don't get screwed over by the end? I would load a save to practice the end, but as you can see, all of my saves are European Extreme, so I really don't play very easy much anymore.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
At least now loading trick will have been loaded for more of the game. Not that loading trick makes a huge difference particularly not on my PC. I have the game installed on my main M.2 SSD. It loads nice and fast, but you do still see a difference. If you're playing on your second playthrough, it is still faster. Ring, 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 ring. I think going back to the original topic with all of this, we were talking about Delta and how we all feel about Delta. I think it's still too early. I think we need to, because IGN had hands-on with it, but as far as I'm aware, they only showed screenshots. They didn't show any video, and that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a decent chunk of gameplay before I make up my mind. Say if it is loading screens between every room still, I think that's stupid. Because again, it kind of undersells what we've had. You know, we were told when these new consoles were coming out that we could have 0 loading screens and seamless worlds, and we've already had that in a lot of games. So if we go back to brand new MGS3 remake, and it's still got loading screens between every room, it's like, what's the point in all of this technology? What's the point in all of the all of the boasts that we've had if you're not going to deliver it? And that's not necessarily the problem with that is it's not necessarily anyone's fault. Because on the one hand, Konami is making the game, and Konami never said that that's what they were going to do with their games. It was Sony who said that's what we'll be able to do with those games. But just because Sony said it doesn't mean that developers have an obligation to meet it. I think that's the difficult thing, is that you've got console makers, console developers saying, "Oh yes, it will do all of this," and then when developers actually get their hands on it, they go, "Yeah, we're not going to do that." Whether it's because it's too difficult or it's not actually viable, I don't know. I really, with the number of cutscenes that MGS3 has, I don't see why cutscenes couldn't be used to mask loading screens. I suppose the difficulty then is if you skip through the cutscenes. It's a bit difficult to mask a loading screen with a cutscene if you're just skipping the cutscenes. Though one would also assume they're going to go with the like MGS4 management of cutscenes, which is where to skip a cutscene you have to pause it and then confirm that you want to. I know that's been a long requested feature for a lot of games, particularly in something like Metal Gear Solid, where some of the cutscenes are incredibly long. Being able to pause a cutscene is a very useful tool. So I would be very surprised if MGS3 doesn't have pausable cutscenes. It makes it a little more awkward for speedrunning because you can't just skip it instantly, unless you have a toggle for that. Unmetal kind of does something with its cutscenes for that. It has a Unmetal has a skip speed function in its options. So whenever you want to skip a cutscene in Unmetal, you have to hold the back button or the B button, circle button, whatever your sort of back or cancel button. Cancel would be better because obviously back is a button. Whatever your cancel button is, you have to hold it, and there is a skip speed option as to how fast that skip happens. And if it is set to the fastest speed, if you set it to the fastest skip speed, that also allows you to queue up the skip. So during normal gameplay, if you hold the cancel button as you go into a cutscene, it will instantly skip the cutscene. You'll instantly start the countdown, and it skips very quickly. On any other, if you're holding the button as you go into the cutscene, you would have to let go of the button and then push it again. Which is how how the game was originally. That the skip speed change was only brought in a couple of patches in because other speedrunners requested it. I'm going to concentrate on this fight. Still can't get this roll down? God damn it. Shoot him. Distracts him, which also distracts every other guard in the room. Come and stand about here. Or a stun grenades. Is that gonna... I did get him. That should be all of them. Nice. A little bit slow because I still can't get through that bloody... Still can't get through the bloody window. Making a right mess to get it rolling through that window. Yeah, I'm more used to European Extreme now. Fight's so much more interesting on European Extreme. Hi back, Rocky. Yeah, for me, for the loading screens for Delta, I really don't see why big areas of the game can't all be seamlessly one big area. because the cutscenes in... I didn't even... What? I didn't even hold X. I'm very confused that Snake decided to crawl in the water there because I didn't push X. I can only assume he got to a position where he felt like he needed to crawl because the water had gotten so deep. I don't know, that was weird. What's the other thing, of course, is that the graphics and the areas are going to be so much bigger in file size than this game, as mainly because of the graphics. So those loading screens are loading more stuff. So considering some of the big open world games that we've got, I really don't see how it can be justified. But we shall see. Say, I will. I'm optimistic, but I will reserve better judgment until we've actually seen some gameplay footage. That's a better start to this, right? That was a good, that was actually a pretty good, apparently I've done it half a second faster. But I was pleased. Ugh, see how I get on with the pain. Stupid pain. Stupid pain and the gun locking up. There's one nice thing we'll have about Delta, though it can be patched. Yes, they released patches for the Master Collection, but that wasn't really gameplay stuff, because they weren't really going to change the gameplay of the games. They were, they're just ports. It was mainly, graphical and other options and stuff like that. So at least Delta can be patched if there's issues. I think the other thing I hope with Delta, I hope Delta does, mostly quick quality of life changes. As I said, didn't really affect gameplay that much. I think the main hope with Delta is that Delta sells well enough. Delta sells well enough for them to consider doing something new with the series. That was fairly good. I bet that's oh wow, that's a decent split. That was a good pain fight. Didn't really lock the gun out. I got my order of hitting buttons there a lot better. Yeah, so I kind of hope that Delta. Well, I say that I hope that Delta does well enough that it would make them consider doing something else with the series. But I think actually, if Delta does really well, then the intention for them will be to then remake the next one. I guess the question is, what do they do? What do you if Delta does really well? What do they remake next? They won't remake Portable Ops. Let's put that out there right now. But would they remake Peace Walker? Or would they just go straight on to Metal Gear Solid 1? Or do you reckon they'd remake Metal Gear? And if they remade Metal Gear, how would they remake Metal Gear? would it still be a 2D game? Or would they actually try and do a full 3D experience? The tricky thing with doing a full 3D experience of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 is there's no voice acting in those games, so voice acting would have to be done from scratch. Oh, Delta's going to sell. There's no doubt that Delta's going to sell. I think the question is whether it sells enough. I don't think it's a done deal that it'll do enough for Konami. Oh, god damn it. What the hell? Probably that patrol's going to come in early now because of that mistake. Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna get through fine. Okay, slight delay there, but it wasn't too bad in it. If you're going by canon story, Peace Walker should be next. The problem is Peace Walker really does act as a setup for Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. The Peace Walker is really part of a trilogy, and that trilogy is Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid 3 is quite detached from those other games. They're very the stories are very there's elements of Metal Gear Solid 3 in each of those games, but Metal Gear Solid 3 is quite detached story-wise and character-wise. You know, for Peace Walker, a lot of the characters from Peace Walker then made reappearances in Phantom Pain. Not obviously there weren't that many characters in Ground Zeroes, but you know, Chico, Strangelove, Huey, Miller, or Miller's probably the biggest one. They all, you know, they're all recurring characters in all three of those games. Paz as well. But on the other side, I wouldn't necessarily say that like Portable Ops is part of a Metal Gear Solid 3. Portable Ops is much closer to Metal Gear Solid 3 because it basically uses a modified MGS3 engine, but it's very detached. Certainly the story is very detached. It doesn't really reuse the same characters. Some of the characters make reappearances, but it's more of a cameo than anything else. So that's a reason why I don't think they do Peace Walker next, because I don't see them remaking MGS5. I don't see any point in ever remaking MGS5. That'd be pretty pointless. So I do think that they'll go straight. I really don't. Oh, bloody hate that. I don't think they do Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. I think there's too much work to do. As I say, it would require all of the voice acting to be. Well, it would require voice acting. There is no voice acting in Metal Gear 1 and 2. And I don't think they would. I don't think they could do Metal Gear the same way as they're doing Delta. Whereas I think Metal Gear Solid 1, because there was already a little bit of ground covered with Shadow Moses in Metal Gear Solid 4, I think it would be fun. And you've got Twin Snakes as well. I think just finish 5. 5 is finished. It is finished. Everyone has different opinions. I think it would be. It'd still be a challenge to remake Metal Gear Solid 1, but I think that's the most obvious stepping stone to doing that. The easy option if after Delta, the easy option is to remake Metal Gear Solid 2. That's the quick and easy way of, let's just do it again.
Wasn't dead after all.
Oh, nice. I didn't have to reload twice there. I only had to reload once. That was really cool. Wrong menu. So yeah, remaking MGS2 is probably the easy option after Delta. Oh, got wrong again. Is probably the easy option after Delta, because you pretty much can just straight up redo it in the same way that they've done Delta. MGS1 would take more work. Oh yeah, after Delta, we're definitely going to get Master Collection Volume 2 before we get anything else. And it's been pretty much confirmed now. It's like 90% confirmed that Master Collection Volume 2 will feature Metal Gear Solid 4. Because one of the developers basically came out and said it. Didn't quite say it, but he strongly suggested. He was talking about MGS4, mentioned what they were doing with the Master Collection, and said that, you know, people are smart enough to connect the dots. Yeah. Apart from actually saying the words, he kind of all but confirmed it. I guess the next question: would you remake if you know, if they were going through all of these games in the way that they you know, say they sort of copy the Resident Evil model? I'm just going to concentrate on this because I've fucked this up twice tonight. Although one time I didn't feel like it was my fault. Hey! Bada bing! Finally! Right, quick cardboard box A. Gonna quick the Mose in the gun. Quick easy gun. Quick C cardboard box A. Done! I just want to really have a lot of the map generated from 4. Yeah, as I say, I think the fact that they've already got the assets from 4 probably makes MGS1 a little bit easier. I think the main difficulty you got with MGS1, and this is we talked about this with Twin Snakes earlier, and why Twin Snakes kind of didn't work, is that MGS1 is not designed for that control scheme. I think if you were to I think Snake Eater kind of works, just recreating the same environments with the new control scheme. But I think for MGS1, I think the levels will need to be a redesign. I don't think you can do a faithful one-to-one recreation of Shadow Moses without with a modern control scheme. Let's hope. Yeah, at this point, if I've got a decent Fury fight, this is going to be a good run. I just got to make sure I don't fuck up the Shadow Hut. Yeah, MGS1 needs a level redesign. Because also, I don't think MGS1 is big enough for a remake. Particularly if you're adding in a load of new mechanics to it. I mean, you've only got to look at MGS4. In MGS4, they added new areas, the Shadow Moses, to give it a bit more. Solid wouldn't do the CQC according to the story, so that mechanic would be removed. That's true. They shouldn't give Snake quite the same level of CQC. By MGS4, he had learnt some CQC. So I think he should still have some, levels of CQC, but not the full suite that Big Boss has. Were they fun? I think the one room that had all of the geckos was interesting. They needed, in order to add the geckos to it, they needed to do that. They needed some bigger room for it to work. But yeah, I do think MGS1 needs more than just, it can't just be a one-to-one. You gotta do something with that level design to make it work. Yeah, I think the machine shop was good, but that was okay. If you've ever watched a speed, I don't know about the other difficulties, but if you've ever watched at least a liquid easy speedrun of MGS4, the opening snowfield where the geckos are, you completely ignore them. You just run past them and it's not a problem.
I think I saw something.
Krasnogorje Mountains. I keep forgetting to check whether I need more stun grenades. You need to have at least one stun grenade for the boss. And that's really the only place to get more stun grenades if you don't have them. Nice. I used to really struggle with this room, getting that roll on the with the box. Oh. The RPG. You don't have to grab the RPG there. You can grab the you get given the RPG when you start the bike chase if you don't have it. It's just if you do that, you have to open the weapon. You have to open up the menu to equip it. So it's I don't actually know whether I don't know which is quicker or whether it's just preference. There is a quick backup. First area before the cutscene. Okay, that I was not aware of. Mainly because I've never needed it. Oh, is it one of the items that has just sort of landed in the crash zone? Because if so, that isn't that far out of the way. It's still slower, but it's not as far out of the way. Yeah, I got it. To the right. Concentrate on gonna concentrate on this fury fight.
Are you ready for this?
Ba-da-da-ba. He's gone left.
My blade suit is ripped.
Beautiful. Absolutely spot on. I got the best RNG. I got the best RNG and the best positioning for him. That was absolutely perfect. I couldn't have asked for better in a fury fight. Really do. I don't think I've got any first person shooting to do because I've got no stamina. That's the RNG you want with the Fury. You want him to not shoot you and to start the start trying to escape. Really good. Shot him again. As I need to have a look at the video and remember how to remember exactly where you shoot to shoot the railing. At the moment, it's not too bad. This being the slightly slower version of this isn't the thing that's holding me back at the moment. I'm not too worried about it. Whoops. Oh, come on. Don't now mess this up by doing all the wrong menus and shit. It was a little slow. 5 seconds. Cool. So we enter shop. There's a save boss here. As always, mute the audio for this scene because it's just horrible. I'll remember to turn it back on, I promise. Oh, enter torch with a 45-second green, which is nice. Shotgun guy. What, I've got to get, as in the like Ocelot unit shotgun guy? I've got to get past him. Really, the only major things to mess up now, apart from just really stupid mistakes, the only real issues for messing up now are the Shagahod and the boss. Shotgun guy after the Sorrow. Hopefully I don't get shot by him. It's not a it's a fairly low risk. I think you're right. I think that's the only major RNG. The boss has got a little bit of RNG, but it's only if the fight gets out of hand that the RNG really kicks in. There's not really, certainly if you get it right, there's no RNG with Shagahod. Volgin should be straightforwards. Yeah, hopefully. Say, assuming I can deliver on the Shagahod. I'm more worried about the Shagahod than the boss. Although my boss fights aren't always that good. Sokolov. Legacy. You guys can't hear this, so I'm kind of trying to fill it. Answer me. Who is helping you? Who let you in here? You're a tough
one. But even you must have your limits. And I am a patient man.
144.75 is the code to get out. That was okay. Take that. It's still weird. It's still weird to me doing this section on an alert. This is the only version of this. The only category of this game. All camos is probably the only other category of this that I do this where I'm on an alert in here. You're not on an alert in all keratin. It's very easy. Because you knock out Johnny to grab smoke grenades from him. At some point, I really should have a look at some of the other difficulties. I've only ever done very easy and European extreme. I really should have a look at some of the others. If I was going to look at another one, the next one I would look at is extreme. Because doing the Master Collection Pentalogy, I'm going to be doing... every game is going to be on the easiest difficulty. It'll be very easy for MGS 1, 2, and 3. For Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, it'll be easy. Because there's only... for both of those games, there's easy and original. There are no other... I can't remember if there's a third one for Metal Gear 2. I think it's still just easy and original. But technically, there is no European Extreme for Metal Gear Solid 1. There's only Extreme. So I suppose for that, there is that you could say there's a category where you just do Extreme. Metal Gear... I just talk about the trilogy here, not adding in the two smaller games. I think I'd still prefer for... eventually, one thing, once this series is over, one thing I will be doing is learning European Extreme for Metal Gear Solid 2. Because then I can do the trilogy again, but do the trilogy on the hardest difficulty. So Extreme for Metal Gear Solid 1, European Extreme for 2 and 3. I think that'll be a really cool speedrun to see. Backpack weapon. I remember there was a weapon this time. 3. I've seen some... I remember seeing some runs by people where they did different things, and they said that, you know, I'm pretty sure I heard someone suggest that that hard is quite an interesting difficulty on this. Because despite me running it now, I'm not a big fan of very easy anymore. I think very easy for Metal Gear Solid 3 has kind of gotten to the same point as very easy for Metal Gear Solid 2, in that it's now so well optimized. Oh, what? I've never seen Shotgun Guy run down like that before. Luckily only a slight time loss. I've never seen him run down like that. Usually he just shoots. I don't know if my line was different. I didn't swap from the 3D camera. I usually swap back from the 3D camera before I get to there. Yeah, I'm kind of only doing very easy because I'm doing the Pentalogy series. It's the easiest way of doing it. But I'm much more interested now in the hardest difficulties for everything. I think it's a bit more interesting. That's not to say when I come to learn a new game, I won't learn these. I still think learning the easiest difficulty is the best way of getting into a speed game. Okay, I'm not equipping the Mosing the gun anymore. I don't think I use it. I hope I've equipped enough weapons. Something tells me I've missed one. Euro is tough. In MGS3, Euro is very tough. Yeah, that 14-second time loss there is down to the fact that in the past I haven't done my weapon menu in that room. I do it in the previous room. You shouldn't really do it. You should do it in the second room, because you don't want the M1911 clogging up your inventory. I think I've got the correct weapons. It just looks odd that it's so small. You usually have a lot more weapons, particularly in European Extreme. You'll have both handguns. You'll have both sniper rifles. third room. There's a save boss here, so I better be careful of that. Hi, Knuckles. That frog, that keratin frog is now dubbed Knuckles. Slam. SVD. 2 shots to the head. That's phase 1. And that's phase 2. That is about as fast as you can't really do Volgin much faster than that. I'm going to try and save time. I'm not even going to get the RPG out here. I'm going to save time on menuing by just sticking with the SVD because I got it out. You don't need the RPG until the final room. You do need your easy gun. It seems to only be a very easy thing. But you do need to have the easy gun out in later rooms because otherwise you'll run out of stamina. Your stamina doesn't drop in European Extreme, but it does in very easy. I don't know why. I can only assume because it's of the difficulty. But. Yeah. It's the only other thing that I know is different in European Extreme. At least European Extreme, other difficulties I can assume is the same as you wear the Orscam camo to reduce damage, but I don't believe that the Orscam camo also reduces stamina. I'm assuming you don't do any damage to the Shagohod with anything other than explosives. No. It wasn't too long ago that I found out that there are some vehicles in some of the games where you can damage them with stuff other than your RPG or your Stinger, like the Harrier in MGS2 and the Hind D in Twin Snakes can both be damaged with normal weapons. I learned that the Harrier for MGS2. I learned the Harrier for MGS2 because in blindfolded speedrunning of MGS2, you usually finish off the Harrier with the AK. Oh, just got him. Just as we were about to go around the corner, I got that guard. So we should move on. Oh, that sounds horrible. That sounds like a bingo. That sounds like a horrible bingo. I think for Twin Snakes bingo, we did include a finish the Hind D off with the SOCOM, but not the whole fight, because the whole fight would have just taken forever. It was horrible. Switch the easy gun now. I need the easy gun out to start getting some stamina back, otherwise you'll start wavering around. Rex can't take damage from the PSG-1. In Metal Gear Solid 1, during the second phase of the fight, you can kill Liquid with the PSG-1. You can't do that in Twin Snakes, because I've tried it. Ugh. At least we get to what I'm not really fussed about actually doing anything during these scenes at the moment. But at least in this version we can actually watch stuff. On the PS3 version you would look up in the air to try and reduce frame rate, lag as much as possible. It seems crazy that it was only a couple of years ago where playing this on playing MGS3 on a PS3 with horrible frame rate lag and loading trick was the best way of playing this game. Whoops. My aiming, that's not very good. I think I've already hit the oh, I haven't hit the threshold, but there's only so much. Even before before you hit the threshold, I think I have hit the threshold now. But even before you hit the thresholds, there's only so much that actually makes a difference for the fight. The same does go for 4.
I planted one C3 charge. The shadow hut's not here yet. Keep your aim steady.
2 hours and 16 minutes to beat the Harrier with just a SOCOM. That's horrible.
Keep your aim steady.
Let's not mess this up. I messed this up the other day because I wasn't concentrating.
Keep your aim steady.
That does sound horrible. Right, let's not mess this up. Good first shot. We should be good. Wait for the tire squeal. Good.
Wearing him down.
Damn it. Okay, that wasn't... I lost a little bit of time on that, but it wasn't too bad. No! Nick, don't... Please land. Oh my god, I've fucking screwed it up. Okay, I'm still 130 ahead, but that could have been so much faster. Damn it. I mean, actually, if you look at that, I lost 20 seconds. It's not... For what I'm after, it's not that bad, but yeah, that was really poor. That should have been so much better. So I shouldn't be going for body shots on Volgin. I think you can do it with the body shot, but it's safer to just pop him twice in the head. Oh, okay. At least phase 1, and actually phase 1 still went a little bit wrong. I kind of messed up. I kept blasting it and didn't blast it enough. I actually missed the timing on the shot. Yeah, Shagger Hod. Okay, so with Volgin phase 2, you only need to fire that one RPG. You don't need to fire both RPG shots. Yeah, the easiest way of doing the Volgin section of that fight the easiest way of doing the Volgin section of that fight is to simply you shoot straight away with the RPG, and then as he comes to a standstill, shoot him in the head, and then just shoot him in the head again when his iframes have worn off. don't think you need to do that with the Mosin Nagant. Yeah, he did. That might be the other. That might be the only other thing is that no, very easy. You use the SVD. You don't use the Mosin Nagant on Volgin. I hope they add a little bit more to the bike chase in Delta. I guess the thing with the bike chase is on a first or a casual playthrough, it's a lot of fun. It's in speedrunning, it just gets a bit dull. Oh god, I'm on fire. Swap to the easy gun, I need to start getting some stamina back. I think. I do actually find shooting these guys in the bike chase is easier with the Mark 22 than the easy gun. Because the Mark 20, the easy gun doesn't aim sort of dead. It does aim dead center, but Snake holds the gun at an angle. It's a bit weird. I really like the look of the new camouflage system. The fact that it's on a quick menu on the D-pad, as opposed to have to going into the pause menu. It's the only thing about the camouflage system that doesn't work in MGS3 is it's a very stop-start gameplay mechanic, which is what I think Metal Gear Solid 4 does the camouflage system really well. In that, you know, you press up against an environment and you then switch to that camouflage. It's a lot slicker. So adding the camouflage to a quick menu, which you can just change on the fly, assuming you change it on the fly. That's the thing. If it introduces a quick menu and then there's still a bit of loading or buffering as you change camouflage, it kind of deceives the point. But I think that will be good. Don't usually see one of the other bikes fall off. Trying to think if there's anything sort of outside of that. It'd be cool to see the cutscenes with the new characters, with the new character models. Food, instant noodles, come to Eva.
Let me have some more.
Cure, Eva. Exactly the same as just 2 cuts, just like in the very start of the game. I don't think I want them to remove the bike chase, but I do think... Eva, don't go... Oh, why'd you go that way? Actually, that probably didn't make much difference. I don't think I want them to remove the bike chase. I just think I want them to do a little bit more with... Make it a little bit shorter and just do something... It needs something just to make it a little bit more exciting. As I said, that's really... Yay! She went left around the tree. That's really only a problem in speedrunning. Or it's a problem in repeat playthroughs. I recently beat the Metal Gear Solid 1 very easy console record. And I have in the past been the only I do have 2 world records for Metal Gear Solid 3, but they are all Keratin frogs in both very easy and European extreme. I did at one point hold the world record for all camouflages in MGS3, but I didn't hold that record for very long.
Warning.
Oh, damn!
Warning.
It's
Encountering
Metal
Elizabeth
Gun
Metal
Solid! Welcome, Glenn. Welcome, Raiders. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for the raid. Always nice to see. Any in this game tonight? No. It is very unlikely I will ever hold a world record in just a standard run of Metal Gear Solid 3. There are far better Metal Gear Solid 3 runners than me. But I can guarantee you, once Delta comes out, I'm getting all of whatever the equivalent of all Keratin Frogs is. If it's now all Gakkos, I'm getting all Gakkos. Oh, and I can also guarantee for you that when Delta comes out, I will do a full unskipped cutscene playthrough of it on stream, and we will get all Keratin / Gakko / whatever they are in the first run. I promise. That is my promise to you. Gakkos would be fun. I'm going to concentrate. Damn it, I punched. Okay, so that's already a slight time loss.
Heads up, Snake.
Come on, boss, come back for me. Oh, she's running at me. Well, this is shit.
Let's see what you're made.
Oh,
Play rough.
I've grabbed her from the front. Oh, that was expecting that.
Excellent, Jack.
I might have just been able to headshot there for the finish. That's still, oh god, that's still not over. $30 seconds lost. That could have been a 2-minute time saved run. Oh, that was. I didn't realize I still had another 30 seconds time save on that on the boss fight.
Keep it safe.
So 50 seconds I've lost towards the end there. I lost 20 seconds on the Shagahod. I lost 30 seconds on the boss.
It's
1 minute 30 puts me down to 105.59. So actually, I'm even with that time loss, I'm still not quite at sub 105.
Jack. Or
Yeah,
should I say-
considering the Fury boss fight I had, that's pretty disappointing.
Kill me. Kill me now.
But this is still going to be a PB.
Do it.
It's still good. Yeah, 30 seconds takes me to 106.59. 105.59. Where do I get another minute? I mean,
There's only room for one boss.
I know where I get another minute from. As I say, I lost 50 seconds in the last 2 boss fights, but I'd still then need another 10 seconds. But then the world record's like a 103. Where does that come from? I know there's always bits that I can improve on, but I'm not sure where I get the rest of that from. This has been a pretty good run. So the world record, which is currently held by Vermilion, is something like a 103.01, something like that. Where does the rest of that time come from? I mean, my summer best is 103.31, but there are a couple of bits that are wrong in that. there's a couple of bits where like I'll have done a menu in one scene and not in the in one run in this room and not in the next room, or that kind of stuff. So that summer best is a little off, but not by a lot. His new strat on the Fury, I'll have to have a look. I didn't know there was a new strat on the Fury. Oh, for those that I've muted the audio for the credits because this song is a killer for getting copyright flagged. I'll have to have a look and see what that is. But yeah, presumably just tighter execution of certain bits, but me personally, I don't think I could get it that much faster. And in fact, I'm struggling to see, unless I can do what I would consider a perfect run, for me, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get under 105. But 105 has been done quite a lot. Luckily, I can tab out of MGS3. MGS 3 HD edition. Single segment, very easy on PC. I say the world record is a 103.01. Thank you, Silent. Have a good one, mate. Sub 105 is the top 6. Top 6 runners on here have a sub 105. I wonder if that means I need to have a watch. I need to have a watch of these runs and see if there's something else that I'm missing. Because if a 103.01 is a perfect is almost a perfect run, and then and there's plenty of sub 105s, that means those sub 105s are either making mistakes or not doing certain strats. What is it that I'm missing? Yes, there are some lines that I could do with tightening in certain places. There's always little bits of time that are available. I'm just struggling to see how all of those little time saves is going to add up to another, at this point, another 2 minutes. I think I'm missing out on. Sorry, I'm jamming along to the music and you guys can't hear it. So yeah, I am gonna have to have a watch through of I'm gonna have to watch Vermilion's world record and just see what, there's clearly something bigger that I'm missing. I want to say something bigger. I mean, I don't mean like there's a huge skip or something that I've missed, or I think there's some strats for some certain things that I either don't know about or haven't considered. I really don't see this being just down to lines in rooms. I can't see where I make up that much time with it. But who knows? I suppose the other thing is I may not, on, because I've only just started running with these splits. Maybe I haven't had a perfect Shaggerhod fight yet on this, or a perfect boss. I'm pretty sure I've done the boss pretty much perfectly already. That Fury fight I can't do much quicker. The Ocelot unit could be a little faster, but I might already have a best split for that. The other thing to do is if Vermilion supplied them, which not many people supply splits on speedrun.com anymore. And to be honest, with the run.gg being so easy to use, I am not surprised no one supplies speedrun.com splits anymore. I used to do it with all of mine, because you use a website called splits.io. But with the run.gg now being an automatic upload from, I really hope that the guy who runs run.gg recently tweeted, I think it was today, it was either yesterday or today, that he tweeted to say that he's been quiet for a while, but he's got some stuff cooking. I really hope the next thing that run.gg's got is integration with speedrun.com, because it's the big for me now. Now that races are sorted, I just really, really want to look into how races are done on there because it looks so good. I really think that speedrun.com integration is the next thing for the run.gg. It needs to replace splits.io because no one uses it anymore. Why would you use splits.io when you have to manually go to splits.io and upload them? Whereas the run.gg, the splits that I'm running now will automatically get uploaded to the run.gg and it'll be there available to read. And Raiden, of course. Oh, Rykov. Yes, I need to get the Rykov shot off so that I get the slightly faster version of the Rykov grab. I did lose a little bit of time coming out of that Rykov grab because I stupid like menued slightly wrong. There are plenty of little time saves left in the run. I certainly recognize that. I just don't see how they would all add up to about, you know, as I say, I think I'm still missing about 2 minutes. Who knows? So
Yes,
I'll watch some runs and see what I'm missing. We will be going to a break next. Normally I do the break whilst we're watching the credits, but if this is a PB and I don't manage to beat it, I probably will submit this because this was still a good. I mean, this is looking at being say 130 under. So this is looking at being a 105.59.
Yes,
which a 105.59 would put me 10.
It should make a valuable trump card
It put me 10. It puts me 10 seconds behind Suave Beardson. And one of I said my first goal was to try and beat Suave Beardson's time. I do like having a rival, and Suave and I get on really well. Bloody God, these conversations are so long. That's the other thing that I hope Delta does. Let's skip the credits and let us skip everything, please. Please let us skip everything.
The boss has accomplished her mission.
Oh yeah, because if I with this run, I am now 1 place ahead of Blues. Blues is a 107.05. So with this run, I knock you out of the top 10. All right, dude.
The film we handed the Chinese was a fake.
Fake? I have a notification.
Peking must be in an uproar right about now.
Delfino Plaza guy beat the world record in Metal Gear Solid 3 HD Edition single segment normal PC. The new world record is a 108.42.
KGB must still have part of the legacy.
Congratulations to Delfino Plaza guy.
Yes,
Delfino Plaza guy's been on a bit of a sesh. My previous notification before that was 28th of August. Delfino Plaza guy beat the world record in MGS3 Snake Eater category extensions box percentage.
Yes, that was
on PC, which box percentage is
speaking of which,
box percentage is where you have to grab the cardboard box as quickly as possible and then wear the cardboard box is off. If you are not wearing the cardboard box, you have to immediately equip the cardboard box. The only time you're allowed to get out of the cardboard box is for purposes where you absolutely have to be out of the box. So, for example, boss fights, you can't beat any of the bosses whilst wearing the cardboard box. You have to get out of the box. But I believe it's you unequip, shoot, or do whatever, and then you have to be back in the box. Is there a cigar? Is there a cigar percent for category extensions?
I will continue my activities.
There's a cigarette for Metal Gear Solid 1, but there isn't a cigar percent.
It appears that no one knew that I was Adam.
For MGS3. Cigarettes? Is there a cigarette percent for MGS?
Always at the CIA's disposal.
Is it just MGS1 that has cigarettes?
Mr. Director.
Crop cap. I don't think there's a crop cap one. There we go. 10 as suggested. 1:05:57. 1:05:57 is my final time. So it is sub 1:06, but I need to shave a minute. I can definitely see how I shave a minute off this, because as we've already said, the boss and the Shago Hard was 50 seconds at least. There's probably more there. I definitely see where I shave a minute from this. It's where I shave another minute. Well, a minute would take me down to 10 would take me down to just under 1:05. The world record is so essentially 1:06. The world record's still 3 minutes faster than that. Where does that come from? Good God, insane. I've just searched and I've just gone to MGS2 CE on speedrun.com, and apparently that page doesn't exist. MGS2 have category extensions. Metal Gear Solid 2 not have category extension? No, it does. It does. HD and they're split. HD. That's why MGS2 CE didn't work, because they are split. HD has, of course, MGS2 has category extensions. I was the world record holder for one of them. Blindfolded Tanker. 2 players, 1 controller, 2 players, 2 controllers, all achievements, all difficulties, all items and weapons, arcade stick, cheat percent, credit freeze, multi-segment, and special items. That's for HD edition. I'm going to assume that it'd be an MGS2 sub, because Substance and Sons of Liberty is also split. Substance. Actually, I don't know why I'm looking over here. I can move this window so it's a bit easier to read. Substance has 2 players, 1 controller, 2 players, 2 controllers. How does 2 player, 2 controllers work? You like swap with what? I don't know how that works. I'd have to show rules. Complete the game while having 2 players using 2 different controllers at the same time. You must use a webcam to show you are using different controllers at the same time. You achieve using the Xbox accessory app's co-pilot feature. Oh. Thanks, Happy Dude. Time starts, yeah. All difficulties, all items and weapons, arcade stick, blade percent, blindfolded, caution percent, cheat percent, sig percent. There is a cigarette for MGS2. There just isn't one for MGS3. Credit freeze, cutscene skip, difficulty randomizer, evasion percent, IGT abuse, keyboard percent, multi-segment, special items, and substance of subsistence. Those are all of the category extensions for Metal Gear Solid 2. Wait, arm strength. I see this before. Oh yeah, arm strength. Cool. So I've at least got a PB. That's, but it's still a minute off. Thanks, Nate. It's still a minute off where I'd like to be. I said sub 1:05. So I can definitely see, but I think before I do my next run, I do want to have a look. I think maybe we'll do that after the break. Although it's already 25. It's already 11. If I'm gonna get another run in, maybe that's it. Maybe I don't get another run in tonight. Maybe we just have a look at Vermilion's run and see if there's stuff that I don't know. Unfortunately, it's going to be difficult for me to practice it because I don't have saves on this. So I don't know. Maybe do something. I don't want to do something different. It's supposed to be an MGS3. I don't know. I need a break at the very least because I need to go. Yes. That Vermilion. World record holder of Metal Gear Solid 3 in a lot of different categories. Not just this category, but a few. Anyway, be back in a few. At the very least, I do need to pee.
walls that I'm stuck inside. I guess beauty sees what I can't find. I didn't, oh I didn't see it coming. Well, I got your code and I got your message. I want you to know that you are the love of my life, the love of my life. You never leave when the song is over. You ride or die till the end. You're the love of my life. You're the love of my life. You never leave when the song is over. You ride or die till the end. You're the love of my life. You're the love of my life. Walls that I built for you just to dig me out with silver spoons. No, I didn't see it coming. Old walls that I'm stuck inside. I guess beauty sees what I can't find. I didn't, oh I didn't see it coming. Well, I got your code and I got your message. I want you to know that you are the love of my life, the love of my life. You never leave when the song is over. You ride or die till the end. You're the love of my life. You're the love of my life. You never leave when the song is over. You ride or die till the end. You're the love of my life. You're the love of my
I've been watching the snow fall down. Oh, candles behind some windows, they couldn't warm me at all. And as I walk through these empty streets of cobblestone, oh, I still wish you were here, though I'm all alone. And I can see clearly through this storm, but I always have this feeling that you're there and I'm not lost. Couldn't leave me here in peace.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to Tuesday Night Speedrunning on the Pentalogy stream. We're going to take a break from actually doing some running now, because I kind of can't fit in another run before the end. So what I'm going to do instead, because I've got a new PB, but I I'm struggling to work out where I would save another 2 minutes. I can save another, I can easily work out where I save another minute, at least, and a little bit, probably a minute and a half. But then after that minute and a half, I've got another 2 minutes behind world record pace. And I don't understand where that comes from. So, I'm going to have a look at the millions world record to see if I can see where that might come from. So, let's go have a look. Welcome back, everybody. So yes, here we have the millions run on the screen. So we're going to give this a whirl. I will run it at, we're not going to watch it. I'm going to watch it at 2x speed so that we get through it. Because I'm running at 2x speed, I'll probably keep the audio off because it might sound funny. I don't know how much talking for a million, doesn't it? And it's struggling a bit. I don't know if OBS was struggling as well. Oh, I've just thought I haven't put this on my. If you're watching on shorts, night night.